They say the Tenryou Commission is directly controlled by the Shogun. They're the ones responsible for maintaining
A comissão
law
Tenryou
and
é
order
diretamente
against
controlada
Inazuma,
pela
the
Shogun.
ones actually enforcing the Vision Hunt Decree.
São eles que fazem diretamente a caça às visões, né? Eles que confiscam as visões.
But why would they take action against one of their own?
E parece que esse cara que a gente tá indo encontrar teve a visão confiscada, mesmo sendo um membro dessa comissão.
Paimon doesn't get it. Huh? There seems to be some commotion over there. Let's go see what's happening.
I'll ask one more time. Do you intend to withhold this month's emergency provisions?
O nome do cara é Omori. O objeto que a gente viu na outra parte, lá no vilarejo, qual que era o nome? Omamori? E esse cara chama Omori. Vai ser difícil. Difícil lidar com esses nomes.
The entire clan is counting on that food. We demand an explanation.
How many times do I have to say it? I don't know anything about emergency provisions.
Eles estão discutindo sobre provisões de emergência. Aconteceu alguma coisa.
You dare deceive us? Those provisions are essential. Do you understand? Not some goods to be pocketed by greedy samurai.
Parece que as provisões sumiram. A comida de emergência sumiu. Bom, a gente tem a nossa Paimon com a gente.
You samurai think you can just do whatever you please? The Tenryou Commission will hear of this.
Oh, huh? And who are you? One of Kurosawa's gang, no doubt.
What? We just happened to be we heard the commotion and came.
I see. You seem to have come just at the right time. Perhaps you can help us settle this matter.
Conta a história pra nós, maluco.
This is Kurosawa. He's a samurai and a member of the Shogun's
Esse é o
army.
Kurosawa, um
They
samurai,
issue
membro
emergency
do exército
provisions
da
to the
Shogun,
area,
tá?
and he's the one responsible for distribution.
Eles são responsáveis por distribuir as provisões de emergência na área, tá?
In the past, we'd simply ask him for provisions and everything would be delivered. Now, he suddenly refuses to give us anything.
No passado ele entregava as provisões sempre que o pessoal pedia, mas agora ele se recusa.
He's keeping the provisions for himself. I just know it. We'll starve without them.
Por que a mudança de comportamento?
No one seems to care about us. We used to think Kurosawa was a kind man, but he's shown his true colors. He's the same as all the other samurai. It's no wonder all the visions have been confiscated. The Raiden Shogun doesn't need people like him helping her rule the...
This must be one of the people Ayaka asked us to help. But why would she ever want us
Por
to
que a
help
Ayaka
someone
queria
like
que a gente
him?
ajudasse alguém como ele, Paimon?
Maybe we should talk to Kurosawa.
Vamos ver o que ele tem a dizer, né?
I've never even heard of these emergency provisions.
Nunca nem sequer ouviu falar dessas provisões? Peraí. Será que ele perdeu a memória também?
I don't know whether it's rumors or whether they're trying to blackmail me. But either way, it's ridiculous. If I was hoarding supply, my own family can barely get by as it is. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got other matters to attend to. And that's the first bit of truth I've heard all day. The Shogun's army told
O
me that I
exército
was
da Shogun
unworthy
disse
of
que
my
era
vision.
indigno da visão.
And they said I was slacking off in my work. Apparently,
Aparentemente, ele decepcionou a Raiden e por isso confiscaram a visão dele.
confiscated my vision.
Well, that's strange. You were helping enforce the Vision Hunt Decree. Why would you be unworthy of your vision?
To be perfectly honest, I don't seem to
Ele
remember
não
the
se lembra do que
details.
aconteceu. Ele também perdeu a memória, né?
All I know is that I would perform certain things every month. But
Ele
I
fazia
don't
certas
recall what they
tarefas todos
were.
os meses, mas não lembra quais eram.
And it's not just that. I have
Ele
this
tem a sensação como se alguém
unsettling
devesse
feeling,
alguma coisa pra ele.
like
Does it have to do with the missing
I didn't take any. Like I said, if I was taking them for myself, I wouldn't be going through such hard times right now. To top it all off, my house was just raided by treasure hoarders.
E pra completar, a casa dele foi invadida por ladrões de tesouro.
I was chasing after them when I got held up by these
Cheio de
two.
problema.
If you don't believe me, go find the treasure hoarders yourself. If there were any emergency provisions to be had, they would have found them.
Huh. He seems to be telling the truth. but we better confirm. Let's go round up those treasure hoarders and see what they have to say.
Vamos atrás dos ladrões de tesouro, Paimon.
We should be able to follow their tracks. They could...
Vamos atrás desses ladrões. Alguém roubou comida de emergência? Ladrões de comida de emergência. Encontrei vocês.
We really outdid ourselves this time. All those samurai houses packed with goods. We really hit the jack.
You haven't seen anything yet. There'll be a lot more where this came from.
Olha aí, contando vantagem das coisas que eles roubaram.
Today's just the beginning. I'll be leading you all on an epic...
You demand, boss!
These seem like the treasure hoarders we're after. Let's teach them a lesson.
Ei, vocês! Seus dias de ladroagem acabaram. Tomem. Foi rápido,
There
não?
goes all the mora. We worked hard to steal that, you know?
Trabalhamos duro pra roubar isso, sabe?
Come on, boss. Think of something.
Not bad, kid. You ever think of joining the treasure hoarders? We could use someone like you.
Conte-nos o que você sabe sobre o Kurosawa. Não. Dizem que você saqueou a casa de Kurosawa. Provavelmente é isso.
Kurosawa? So he's the one who sent you after us, huh? Just our luck. I knew we shouldn't have hit that place.
Realmente eles foram lá.
So what did you see inside? Was it stuffed with food supplies?
O que tinha lá dentro? Alimentos?
Food supplies? You kidding? That place was a complete mess. All we
Não.
found was a strange looking box.
Tudo que achou foi uma
Hopefully
caixa de aparência
valuables
estranha
inside.
com objetos de valor dentro. Então ele não tinha comida na casa dele.
I didn't want anyone else to see it, so I was planning on opening it myself. But now that you've caught us, how about we make a deal? That little box for our freedom. What do you say?
Eles estão com a caixa com eles. Ele falou que troca a caixinha pela liberdade.
You've got a deal. Now show us what's in the box.
A Paimon só aceitou o trato.
Huh?
What the?
There's nothing in here but IOUs!
Documentos de dívidas.
Yeah, a lot of them
A
too.
caixa tá cheia de documentos de dívidas.
And they all seem to be made out to the owner of a general goods
Feitos
store.
para a dona de uma loja de mercadorias gerais.
We're talking tons of
Senhorita
more.
Aoi.
We better talk to this Miss Aoi. As for you guys, you're free to go. Just pray that our paths...
So, we redeemed ourselves for some IOUs.
Shut it.
Paimon deixou os caras ficarem livres. Olá, moça.
Welcome to Tsukumomono Groceries.
Mercearia
We've got
Tsukumomono.
everything you need. Can I help you find something? Or perhaps there's something you want to inquire about?
A gente achou uns documentos, moça.
Ah, so you're friends of Kurosawa, I take it? Perhaps you're here to pay off his debts.
A gente tá aqui pra pagar a dívida dele? Não?
Whoa, let's not get ahead of ourselves. We're just here to learn where they all came from.
A gente só quer saber de onde vieram tantas dívidas.
How did Kurosawa end up owing you so much money?
O que ele comprou que era tão caro daqui?
Expensive here?
Let me think. Kurosawa would come regularly to purchase large quantities
Ele
of
vinha
foodstuffs.
regularmente
He'd
comprar
always
grandes
put the
quantidades de
payment on his own
alimentos.
account.
E ele colocava o pagamento em sua própria conta. Caramba! Ele comprava alimento pra galera lá da vila.
However, the price of provisions began to
Mas o preço das
skyrocket
provisões começou a
recently,
disparar.
and his salary was no
O seu
longer
salário
enough
não
to
era
cover
mais
the
suficiente para
cost.
cobrir o custo.
So, he
Então ele
started
começou a
writing
escrever
out
documentos de dívidas
IOUs
para
to
cobrir o que não
cover
podia
whatever he couldn't
pagar.
afford of the usual amount.
Ele se endividou para ajudar a galera do vilarejo.
So that's how he was getting those emergency provisions. But why did he have to purchase a usual amount? If the prices increased,
Well, if you think about it, the citizens receiving the emergency provisions must have been carefully calculating how much they needed to sustain the meat. Kurosawa thought that it would be quite the disappointment for
Ele não
them
queria
if they found they
desapontar o
didn't
pessoal
have
do
enough,
vilarejo.
especially after such long and careful planning. So he deemed it necessary to take on the debt rather than let the people down.
E aí ele preferiu se endividar do que desapontar o povo. Caramba.
Kurosawa was purchasing all the emergency provisions and no one ever appreciated what he did.
People's attitudes will always reflect their circumstances. In the face of hardship,
Caramba, o
nobody
pessoal
cares
precisa
to
saber
think
disso.
twice. If you ask me, had Kurosawa told everyone the truth about the supplies
Se
from
ele
the
tivesse
start,
contado a verdade pro
then there
povo,
wouldn't be such a severe backlash now.
não teria essa situação toda.
Of course, I'm sure there would still have been some unrest. What he was doing was truly a thankless deed. As for why he chose to spend his own money on emergency provisions and never tell anyone,
Por que será que ele
I'm
não
still
contou pra
not too
ninguém?
clear myself. If you're still curious, why don't you go ask him your... I see.
O problema é que ele perdeu as
That
memórias,
reminds
né?
me. It seems that his vision was recently confiscated. Most unfortunate. If he doesn't clear the debt on his name, he'll have no choice but to sell that sword that is
Se
so
ele não
dear
pagar a
to
dívida
him.
em seu nome, não terá outra escolha senão vender aquela espada que lhe é tão querida.
Sword?
Oh, didn't he
Ele
tell
tem uma
you?
espada muito
He possesses a
valiosa.
very valuable blade. I've asked him about its origins. He told me
Ele
that
falou
it
que é um
was a
presente
gift
do
from
pai
his
dele.
father, that it was too
Precioso
precious
demais para
to
ser vendido.
sell.
Quem sabe é isso que vai resgatar a memória dele.
In hindsight, I regret that I never made an offer on it. Why don't you ask him about the sword yourself? Oh, but before you go,
But we...
information is also a kind of commodity.
A moça
Wouldn't
quer
you
cobrar a
agree?
gente por essa informação que ela deu? Sério?
Don't worry. I won't charge much for information about
2.000
Kurosawa.
mora? Tá bom.
Nothing we have...
At least we now know where the emergency provision... Let's go talk to
Kurosawa. Rapaz, conta pra gente sobre essa espada aí que você tem. E por que você resolveu omitir a sua situação pra galera do vilarejo por tanto tempo?
What are you doing here all by yourself?
I presented them with a choice. Either they left or I drew my sword. It turned out to be a real time saver, actually. Did you manage to track down the treasure hoarders?
Então, cara, deixa eu te
Everything I said
contar o que
was true.
aconteceu. Muitas coisas.
That just about sums it up. It turns out that you really were distributing emergency provisions.
Strange. Is that really the kind of person I was?
Você era essa pessoa, mano. Você só não se lembra.
I don't really have any such recollection. Even after all you've told me, I still don't remember anything. Why was I purchasing emergency provisions for everyone? And why would I put myself in such a difficult situation? I really don't understand. But I cannot deny that when I brandished my sword to scare those two away, I could sense that my body was somehow
Que tal
reluctant
você
to do so.
investigar essa espada que é tão importante pra você?
This sword was once wielded by... I remember once when I was young, I wanted to sneak out with the blade and show it off to the kids next... What did he say? It would seem that I forgot many important
Ele
things
esqueceu
when my
muita
vision
coisa
was
importante,
taken from
cara.
me. So many memories gone. Forever. No matter how hard I try to remember, all I can remember now is my father telling me that
Ele
this
falou
blade
que
bore his life's
o pai
creed.
disse a ele que essa lâmina carregava a
Before he
crença
passed
de sua
away,
vida.
He
Antes
placed
de
the sword
falecer,
in
ele
my
colocou a
hands
espada nas mãos do nosso Kurosawa aí.
and said to me, with
Com
this
essa
sword,
espada você deveria...
Hey, if you look carefully, there seems to be some words engraved on the hilt.
Tem palavras gravadas no cabo da espada.
Can you recognize the words?
O que é? As palavras são virtude e justiça.
virtue and justice. Somehow those two words seem to explain everything now.
Essas palavras explicam tudo.
Taking on seemingly endless debts to make others happy. I guess that must have been my greatest ambition
Assumir
after
dívidas
all.
para deixar as pessoas felizes? Essa era a sua maior ambição?
But what use are virtue and justice? I purchased the provisions for those in need. The Tenryou Commission seized my vision. And the very people I was so desperately trying to help refused to understand me. And the irony of all of it is, I somehow still felt sorry when threatening them with my blade. I'm incapable of being a good person, yet
Caramba, o cara tá
equally
mal.
unable
Tá
to
mal,
be
galera.
bad. I don't know what to do with myself.
Ele se sente incapaz de ser uma boa pessoa, mas igualmente incapaz de ser uma má pessoa.
Yet another troubled soul. When we get the chance, let's speak to Toma about Kurosawa's debt.
Vamos falar com o Toma sobre a dívida do Kurosawa quando a gente tiver oportunidade.
In any case, we must never let him sell off that sword. Yeah, seems like losing all ambition
Esse a gente não vai conseguir resolver no momento, galera.
Fortunately for us, you don't have a vision. Let's go find the next
Infelizmente, o caso desse maluco aí foge um pouco do que a gente pode fazer no momento. Vai precisar da ajuda lá da comissão Yashiro
More speed.
e do Toma. Vamos para a terceira pessoa que a gente tem que ajudar. Ele supostamente é um espadachim famoso. O atual mestre da arte Meiko Shisui. E esse é o dojo dele.
Nanako, don't worry. Sensei will be fine. Those thugs that challenged the dojo were strong, but he fought them all off in the end, didn't
Aqueles
he?
bandidos que saquearam o dojo eram fortes, mas ele lutou contra todos eles no final, não foi? Problemas.
Maybe, but things have gotten dangerous before
As
in the
coisas ficaram
past, but it's
perigosas.
never shaken him. This time, though,
Ele lidou com coisas perigosas no passado, mas agora ficou abalado.
It's just because he's been possessed, that's all. Once the exorcism has taken place, he'll be right as rain in
O
no
cara tá
time.
achando que ele foi possuído, como assim?
Hey there! Did something happen?
Who are you? I don't care whether you're trespassers or just here to harass us while Sensei is impaired. Get out of here
O
immediately!
sensei está prejudicado, saiam daqui imediatamente.
Don't make me draw my blade, or you won't live to regret it.
No! You got it so wrong! We just came here to...
A gente veio aqui pra ajudar, maluco. A gente veio pra se tornar discípulos.
Disciples?
Yep! We've heard all about the mighty master of Meikyo Shisui.
Claro, ouvimos tudo sobre o poderoso mestre da técnica Meikyo Shisui. É por isso que a gente veio e nada mais.
But then we got here and overheard you talking about how he got
A gente ouviu falar
possessed or something?
que ele foi possuído ou algo assim.
From the way you're dressed, it doesn't
Olha
look
outro
like
cara
you're from
julgando a
around
gente
here.
pelas roupas.
Please, accept my apologies. We've had so many people trying to cause us trouble recently that we're on high alert. You haven't arrived at the best of times, I'm afraid.
Não chegamos em um bom
Sensei
momento,
got possessed
percebi.
recently, and he's still recovering. He's not able to... I see you are earnest in your pursuit. Okay, how about this? My fellow disciple Nanako and I will
Explica pra gente em
explain
detalhe
Sensei's
o que
situation
aconteceu.
to you in a little more detail. Sensei's name is Domon.
O nome
A
dele é
name I'm sure
Domon.
you've already heard. Though self-taught, he mastered the art of the
Ele
sword to
dominou
a
a
high
arte da
level.
espada em um alto nível.
He then proceeded to defeat many other prominent
Derrotou
sword
muitos outros
masters,
mestres
never losing a single fight.
e nunca perdeu uma luta. Ok?
He once said that his goal was to become the best sword master in the world.
Ele queria se tornar o maior espadachim do mundo.
And so, even while training us, he continued to hone his own art.
Sempre continuou
His fervor
melhorando
truly
sua
inspired
arte,
us, and we trained hard,
inspirou seus
determined to keep up
alunos.
with him.
Bem,
But then,
mas
not long ago, Sensei had his vision taken
ele
away.
perdeu sua visão.
He hasn't been the same since.
E desde então não foi o mesmo.
He says the strangest things over and over.
Ele diz coisas
and he
estranhas sem
refuses to
parar
let us train.
e se recusa a deixar os discípulos treinarem. Caramba.
Junior and I have discussed it, and we both think
É por isso que eles estão achando que ele foi
he's been
possuído por um
possessed by an
espírito.
evil spirit. So we've asked the shrine maidens from the Grand Narukami Shrine to perform an exorcism.
Aí eles pediram pra que ele fosse exorcizado. Caramba.
But if I'm honest, I still have my doubts over whether he'll...
The Grand Narukami Shrine? What's that?
You haven't heard of it? It's the largest shrine on Narukami Island. The head shrine maiden is reputed to have very close ties with the almighty Shogun herself.
Aparentemente tem um santuário lá em cima daquele pico. A sacerdotisa principal do santuário tem reputação de ter laços muito estreitos com a própria toda-poderosa Shogun.
Not that we'd have any means of involving the head shrine maiden, of course. But even one of the ordinary shrine maidens from the Grand Narukami Shrine would have clear power and
Qualquer uma das
authority to perform an
sacerdotisas
exorcism.
ordinárias do grande santuário Narukami teria poder e autoridade suficiente para realizar um exorcismo.
So don't worry, Nanako. Sensei is going to be just fine. The exorcism will take place this
O
evening.
exorcismo acontecerá
You're
essa
both more than
noite.
welcome to come and watch if you're interested.
So, losing your vision can cause possession?
A gente vai ficar pra ver isso?
So you decided to come.
Ok, é hora de começar
Good thing you didn't arrive any
a sessão de
earlier.
exorcismo do cara.
You would have had to witness Sensei
Vamos
one
ver
of
o que
his
vai
fits of
acontecer.
madness. Just now, when Nanako was attending to him, she heard him whispering a few names to himself.
Ele estava sussurrando nomes agora há pouco.
When she asked him who the people were, he suddenly looked panic-stricken and pushed her away. It looked like he was in great distress. He
Ele
was
parecia
covering
estar
his
muito
ears and looking
angustiado.
frantically around him with bloodshot eyes. All the while he kept calling those names. Some of them we knew.
Um dos
Others
nomes que ele
we didn't
falava,
recognize. But
nós
they all seemed to
conhecíamos,
be the
outros
names
não.
of sword masters he had defeated in
mas
the
todos
past.
pareciam ser de mestres espadachins que ele havia derrotado.
One of them was Anzai.
Um deles era
He
Anzai.
used to be a fellow disciple of Sensei's. His senior, in fact.
Ele era o mais
Sensei
experiente de
defeated him in a
todos.
duel many years ago.
Mas o sensei
And
derrotou
he has
ele em um
been a
duelo.
wanderer ever since. Sensei wouldn't stop calling his name. Thankfully, the shrine maidens managed to subdue him, so the
Tá bom.
exorcism can finally continue.
Eles estão continuando com o exorcismo.
The ritual has now begun. All we can do is patiently await the result. Here's hoping Sensei will be back to his normal self very soon. Please, excuse me for a moment while I fetch some water. If he wakes up, he is sure to be thirsty.
Tá bom, o maluco vai lá buscar água, a gente vai ficar aqui na frente? Ou a gente vai entrar pra ver o cara? Ei, você! Ei, você não é aquele... o primeiro cara que a gente ajudou? O que você tá fazendo aqui?
Who's that sneaking around? Uh-oh. Could they be here to mess up the... We won't let them get away with it.
Peraí, vamos atrás do maluco. Quem que é esse cara?
Seems they aren't here. Should we keep going further up?
O cara passou por aqui.
Is this definitely the right place? Let's look a little further up. Aha! Suspicious
Olha ele
person
ali.
sighted. Let's go.
How did you catch up with me so quickly?
É outra pessoa?
Are you sure you're Domon's disciples? You move even quicker than he does, unless... I guess it's been a few years. Maybe his
Bom, a gente não
skills
conhece
have
esse cara,
improved
mas
again.
ele conhece o tal do Domon, que tá supostamente possuído.
Excuse me. We're the ones asking the questions here.
É isso mesmo, Paimon. A gente tem que fazer as perguntas.
And what are you doing sneaking around these parts? You seem like bad news, mister.
Você é muito suspeito, senhor.
Bad news? I'll have you know I trained side by side with Domon back in the day.
Treinou ao lado de Domon
Long before you
antigamente.
ever showed up. I don't care to talk about that time anymore.
His senior? Wait.
Esse é o cara, o tal do Azai, que o Domon derrotou num duelo?
Anzai?
Anzai, melhor
that's
dizendo.
me.
É.
Because I don't wish to see Domon or anyone else associated with him ever again. When we were young, we trained under the same sword master. Studying
Treinamos com o mesmo
Meikyoshi
mestre
Suiart
quando éramos
together.
jovens.
I had begun training 5 years before him, and everyone looked up to me as a steady and dependable. Practitioners of Meikyoshi Suiart seek to achieve stillness of mind, freedom from all agitation. So the majority
eles
of
foram
disciples
treinando,
are
treinando,
indifferent to rank and reward.
buscavam quietude de espírito e liberdade de toda agitação.
But Domon was different.
Mas o
First
Domon era
thing he did when he
diferente.
joined was go straight to our sensei and ask him, with a beaming smile on his face, how to become the best in the world.
O Domon era bem ambicioso. Ele chegou pro mestre com um sorriso e perguntou para ele como se tornar o melhor espadachim do mundo.
Sensei scolded him and told him that the art of the sword should not be used for such vain ends. Sensei said that coveting the title of the best sword master barely days into his I thought so too at the time. But Domon began making swift
O Domon
progress
parece
in
que
his
saiu
training,
da...
and even started catching up with me.
Quer dizer, não sei se ele saiu da escola deles, do dojo, mas ele continuou seu treinamento, até alcançar o Anzai.
Only then did I realize that it was Domon who had long since freed his mind from all agitation. He was consumed by his singular desire to become the best in the
Ele foi
world.
consumido pelo
He
desejo de
sought
se tornar o
nothing
melhor do
less than
mundo
perfection in
e
the
buscava a
art of the
perfeição
sword.
na sua arte da espada.
And nothing could deter him from this,
Sure sounds like he meant business.
because until he arrived, I was convinced that I would succeed our sensei as the master of miHoyo Shisui art.
O Anzai supostamente ia ser o sucessor do mestre deles, mas com todo o progresso do outro maluco,
Of all the disciples,
a
I was
posição
the
dele ficou
most
ameaçada.
I had trained the longest. Domon's arrival changed everything.
A chegada de
When
Domon
we
mudou
sparred,
tudo.
I lost not just the match, but my pride and my
E aí eles
status
lutaram
too.
e o Anzai não perdeu
I
só a
fled the
partida,
dojo
mas
that
perdeu o
day and
orgulho e
never
o status
looked
dele.
back.
Ele fugiu do dojo naquele dia e nunca mais voltou.
Later, I heard that he sparred with Sensei too. Sensei was advanced in after that I wanted nothing further to do with him. Deep down though, so when I heard rumors that he had lost his mind,
E aí o Anzai ouviu os
my
rumores
first
que ele tinha
reaction
perdido a
was to
cabeça,
dismiss
ficado
them as
maluco.
false. How could he,
Achou que era
of all
mentira.
people, have lost his mind? His mind was the
E aí
sharpest of them
parece
all.
que ele mesmo
He had practiced
resolveu vir
miHoyo Shisui
para
art
conferir
to
se era verdade os
perfection.
rumores.
I decided to quietly come and see if it were true. So you see, I came here not to cause
Então
him
ele
any
não veio
harm.
fazer mal a ninguém, ele só
I just wanted to see
veio
for
conferir os
myself.
rumores.
Okay, you've heard my story.
Seems like we got it wrong, Vit. Still, Paimon's not sure we should bring him back with...
Bom, o exorcismo já deve estar completo. Vamos ver se ajudou a melhorar a situação do cara.
What? You're saying he isn't possessed?
Ele não está possuído. Oh, olha só.
Does that mean he's just lost his mind? But how is that possible?
Nanako, please.
I am sorry. With what powers I have, I can find no sign of any
A
malignant
sacerdotisa fez o que
spirit having
pôde, mas o
possessed
problema dele não
Domon.
é possessão.
But spirits may take a myriad of forms in this world, many of which I cannot claim to have witnessed myself. That and all is certainly not lost. For I received word not long ago that Lady Yai has
A
taken an
senhora
interest
Yai
in
se
your
interessou pelo
sensei's
caso
case.
do sensei.
Lady Yai? Is that the same Lady Yai that I think you mean?
The head shrine maiden of the
A
Grand
sacerdotisa
Narukami
principal do
Shrine?
grande santuário Narukami.
That's wonderful news.
Essa aí que é a senhora
Then
Yai.
Sensei will be sure to recover.
O pessoal acha ela importante.
Correct. Lady Yai is most knowledgeable indeed and has
Ela é muito
abundant
competente, tem
experience in
abundante
the
experiência no
exorcism of
exorcismo de
evil
espíritos
spirits and
maus,
aversion of great calamities.
tá?
I am unable to say for certain whether an evil spirit has possessed your sensei, but
A
Lady
senhora
Yai
Yai
can give a
poderia
conclusive
determinar se
verdict.
realmente o problema dele é com espíritos ou não.
Excuse me, Miss Inagi, but I must ask, should we prepare a greeting gift for Lady Yai?
That won't be necessary. All that is required of you is your timely arrival at the Grand Narukami Shrine. Lady Yai does
Então
not
eles vão ter
like
que
to be
levar o
kept
cara
waiting.
lá pro santuário.
I must leave now, but we will meet soon at the shrine.
Who'd have thought Lady Yai herself would have taken notice of our sensei's case?
Do you mean to say that Sensei isn't renowned enough to deserve Lady Yai's attention?
O caso dele chamou a atenção da senhora Yai,
No.
mesmo ela
That's
sendo
not
tão
what I meant at all.
importante.
I just mean this is Lady Yai, the head shrine maiden. She has direct and close
Ah,
contact with the
é
almighty
verdade.
Shogun
Ela tem
herself.
contato direto com a toda poderosa Shogun.
Anyway, you should join us too, tomorrow.
Então é amanhã que isso aí vai acontecer. Interessante.
Given that you've traveled all this way just to meet our sensei, we, the disciples of miHoyo Shisui Art, will do our best to help you.
Sure.
Beleza, a gente
After all,
acompanha.
Everyone seems pretty excited about Lady Ai. We're curious to meet her too. Who knows? Maybe we'll be able to find out a thing or
Quem
two
sabe
about
talvez
the
consigamos
riding
descobrir
children
uma ou
from
duas
her.
coisas sobre a Shogun Riding com ela. Tá bom. Muito bem, muito bem, muito bem. Então, nossa próxima missão é chegar lá em cima. Pra ver se o caso do espadachim realmente é coisa de espírito ou não. Só a sacerdotisa Yai vai saber dizer.